I was talking with some friends last night about the school, and they asked me about structured learning. And as we talked about it, I tried to clarify with them what they meant and what we might mean by structured learning. I think a lot of times in the conventional school system within which we all grew up, or most of us grew up, there's an idea that children and young people have to be given structured learning for them to acquire knowledge and skills and training and wisdom, etc. And I think that there's something behind that that is not often questioned, but is often questioned at Alpine Valley. And that is structured learning bad in and of itself? No, it is not. There are some times that I engage in structured learning. The other day I was walking around the building, as I often do, and I came across a student who was in a room by himself facing his computer, and he said to me like this, and I thought, that's interesting. And he whispered to me, "I'm in a class." And I thought, oh, that didn't occur to me. But what's the distinction? I think the distinction is that learning at Alpine Valley School has to be intrinsically motivated. And I think the best form of learning that all of us do as young people and as adults is when we want to do it. There's something out there that we need to do, a new skill, a new understanding that we're seeking. And sometimes it's best to do it through what might be called structured learning. But the impetus behind it is that person's impetus. They are interested in learning it. Looking back at conventional schooling, most learning that goes on, structured or otherwise, is not internally motivated. It's externally motivated. I think that's a key distinction between the Sudbury model, as practiced by Alpine Valley School and others, and conventional schooling, which most of us grew up with. I think a lot of times, especially with the dawn of the internet, structured learning has changed, and the desire for it has changed. 25 years ago, when Alpine Valley School started, the most efficient way to learn something, if you were interested as a kid, was to find a staff member and say, "Hey, staff member, I would like to know about the history of whatever." And if that person happened to be knowledgeable of that, they could talk for a while, and they often did. That has changed, and there are fewer times where I'm actually teaching in a structured way, because for the most part, the students, and I think people in general, learn the things when they want to. And what has changed at Alpine Valley is now we often talk about things that they see on the internet. They've looked into what they're curious about, and they come to a staff member with an understanding of something that now they want to bounce off a staff member. That's more interesting to me because they've already done an investment of time in finding out something that's interesting, and now we can talk about it. What looks like structured learning in conventional schooling is really the recitation or the regurgitation of information, as opposed to the analysis, application, understanding of information. And I think that happens more now than it ever has done. The other day, I saw 3 students standing together at the piano. And I didn't want to interrupt them, and I didn't. But they were there in intense concentration about something. I'm not sure what it was, because I didn't want to interrupt it. But they stood there for a long time, thinking, working, talking about something interesting to them. That sort of conversation is, I think, the most fruitful conversation that can take place between individuals, where like-minded people, or maybe not like-minded people, are talking about things that they are interested and passionate about. And at Alpine Valley School, they have the time to do that. Their time is theirs. There are no bells or tones to say, stop doing that and go on to this next subject. They can sit and talk about these things for hours, and they often do.